Recipe today called sweet potato cheeseburger casserole, which ironically has no cheese in it, has some burger in it. Uh, Not really much of a casserole. I don't know why it's called that, but I found it from PaleoHacks. Hey Rachel, how are you doing, dear? Thanks for jumping on. Ironically, not really a cheeseburger, not really a casserole, in my opinion, but we'll see what it turns out to be. Looked good. Now, let me post the link to the recipe in chat just so you guys can follow along. Okay, there you go. Now you got it. So, just found it online. I've been trying to find new recipes because I tend to cook the same like 4 or 5 recipes, and that's not so fun. So with this recipe, it's actually you're supposed to use a yeah, no worries. Jump on in and out whenever you can. What are you having for lunch, Rachel? So you're supposed to like have a spirelli or a spiralizer or one of those things that turns vegetables into noodles. Not with magic, but with a cutting blade, of course. But like you throw it in there and you turn it and you make noodles out of it. And I thought, well, that'd be kind of cool. I didn't really want to buy one though, because I think it's like you could probably buy a cheap one. But I mean, for the purposes of this, I'm actually going to just slice the sweet potato long ways and just kind of cut it into long like fries probably. Definitely won't be as good of the effect, but I'm cheap. I'm not gonna buy a spirelli for that. I already started on and cut 2 of the large sweet potatoes too. I cut them the wrong direction though. I cut them circular. I wish I would have cut them long ways so I could slice it long, but oh well. Will not be the first mistake I've ever made in my life. But avocado toast sounds pretty good, Rachel. Actually, Celissa did a brunch stream. She usually does brunch streams on Sunday late mornings, and I think she made that last like 4 different types of avocado toast, which sounded pretty good. I did not know there was 4 different types of avocado toast. I like avocado, I like toast, but I don't know if I've ever had that. So the recipe is in chat, and I'll post it periodically as you guys pile in. Right now, I'm just prepping the vegetables. I did a little prep before the stream just to make sure everything was working in order, make sure that my slicing items still work because I don't use them very often. I use this knife quite often, but not these other little gadgets I have here. I'm just going to cut the celery, this is kind of a special occasion for me because I'm usually way too lazy to even cut celery and cut carrots and onion to make the mirepoix, as it's called. But I decided, I want to do this recipe. I might as well just go ahead and buy some fresh stuff. At Trader Joe's, they actually have a mirepoix you can buy, which is just perfect. It's like $3 or $4. It's already cut up, and just buy it and dump it in your stews and your soups and such. So I thought, well, whatever. I just want to do this recipe finally. Want to have an interesting recipe to show on stream. A little bit more interesting than the 3-ingredient pizza that I made last time. But everybody seemed to enjoy it well enough. So one of my first contraptions I'm going to use is from Sharper Image. Is like a dicing, a veggie dicer. It's supposed to make, because I hate cutting vegetables so much, my good friend Jessica bought me this last year, and which it's kind of a shame I haven't really used it more because I still hate cutting vegetables, but I kind of keep forgetting about it. So we're going to try it some more today. I tested out a carrot on here just to make sure I could do it. But actually, carrots are pretty easy to cut. I should probably just cut the carrots like a normal human being here. But let's just try this just to see if it works. It might work. Boom. And it's super quiet, as you can hear. Yeah, so it's pretty good for, I think maybe I'll use the onion for it. The onion will be really good for that. Carrots are pretty easy to cut. But I will, let's see. Yeah, we'll just keep it on there. So we'll just do the onion next, actually. That'd be a good idea. So this recipe calls for a whole onion. I'm actually really surprised if this onion is going to be good. It still looks good inside, but I think I've had this onion for a long, long time. So I really really caught a break on that one. So we'll peel just kind of the outer layer of it. Oh, this is a strong onion. Right now we have the stove. You might even be able to hear it. Stove is warmed up to about medium. What we're going to do is we're going to cook the mirepoix, or the onion, carrots, and celery. Soften it up. And then we'll cook the ground beef, which, if you know me, you know I'm going to be cooking a double batch because I don't want to mess around with just doing a single batch. Because that's just a waste of time to cook one meal, or one recipe's worth of meal. Why don't you just cook two? Then you have it for the rest of the week. If you can handle leftovers, which I certainly can. All right, so let's see, there we go. Just peeling this outer layer. Man, this is a fussy onion, but I guess I can't complain since I've had it for weeks, I think. All right, I'll just cut the outside of this. Since we're going to, normally if you were to dice, you usually want to cut it in half, so you want to slice it along this side, and then you do like these little cuts like this. And it's really not that bad, but since I got this out and I've already dirtied it up, I'm gonna use this. Maybe it'll inspire me to cut more vegetables. I tend to, because I hate cutting vegetables, I tend to not put as many vegetables in my meal, and vegetables are pretty much the healthiest thing you can eat. I know that's crazy coming from me, considering how much bacon you probably saw me cook and how much meat I eat, but I don't mind vegetables, especially when they're cooked. So, hey, Sergeant Smokey, how you doing? Chef Mighty, I like it. I like it. All right, we're gonna try. Oh yeah, cuts so quiet, like butter. All right, just dice the rest of this. How you doing, Smokey? Sorry that it was so difficult to get the Steam code over to you. I had never done that before. I'm still I don't use Steam very often. It's kind of unfortunate because I know you like to play Broforce and you definitely earned it. But I could give you my real life email too and try to do it that way if it work. All right, yeah, it looks like tomato is diced. All right. Put you in the pool there. All right, so we got a whole onion. So as I mentioned, I'm gonna double the recipe. So I'll use 2 pounds of ground beef instead of just one. It said for 1 stalk of celery. Let's do a little bit more. It's pretty easy to cut. I actually don't mind cutting celery because it's so easy to cut. It's just those things that are really frustrating, like peppers. You have the stronger outsides. You gotta clean them all out too. This looks like 2-ish carrots. I don't know. Try that. All right, let's try with a little bit of order here. That's right, I'm cutting baby carrots, not a real carrot. Hope you guys are having a good St. Patty's Day. I don't know if you guys have any festivities. I know, Rachel, you mentioned you're going to stream, so you're just like me and it's probably staying for the evening. It's pretty nasty here where I live. It's been raining and snowing at the same time. You're the worst at cooking. I missed the last part of that here. I'm sorry. Worst at cooking, so you end up eating everything before the recipe's complete. No, if that makes you a bad cook, then I'm a horrible cook because I do the same thing, my friend. Especially with like that meatloaf I made in my second episode with the sweet potato stuff. Oh my god, so good. Yeah, I eat like pretty much all my stuff right away. So let's just go ahead. So we've already dirtied this up. We'll go ahead and throw the celery and the carrots and the onion in here. I think we probably have more than what we necessarily need, but that's okay. A little extra vegetables probably didn't hurt anybody. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw this in the pan as soon as we can warm up some avocado oil. So I'm going to keep the camera right there just because I'll be right back. I'm just throwing 2 tablespoons of avocado oil in real quick. just to heat up. And then we're gonna toss this in there to soften it up for a couple minutes. Once it softens up, we're gonna throw our ground beef in there, brown that. Then we're gonna throw in really the rest of the ingredients, except for the sweet potatoes that are gonna be diced up into a ghetto version of spaghetti, which is gonna be basically probably like little shoestring sweet potato fries. And then we'll let it simmer for about 10 minutes. Oh, you're at the in-laws. Oh, well, hey, thanks for popping in, bud. I really appreciate it. Hope you have a wonderful time with the in-laws. Okay, so I think oil should be good, so we're just going to go ahead and throw this in the pan. Start softening it up. You can hear the sear, probably. Oh, yeah. Okay, so let's let that go. Okay, so this is cooked for 3 minutes to soften it up. Don't let me forget, guys. So what I'm going to do now is just prep the sweet potatoes. I'll throw these off to the side here. So I already washed these and scrubbed these. Don't worry, guys. I'm not a monster. So I'm going to use this really sweet little mandolin slicer. Great for slicing veggies, of course. Very dangerous though. I've definitely nicked myself several times. And I know that's what the handle thing's for. I think the handle's a little bit better once it gets a little smaller. And it almost broke. Okay, we made it. Good. So I'm just sliding this, and you really got to be really careful because this blade is sharp, but it's also a little janky sharp too. So it's janky in that it doesn't always do a clean slice, especially with how thick this sweet potato is. So I'm going a little slower than what I normally would. Not going cowboy mode here. I don't need to be a hero. Don't need to cut myself on cam. Yeah, it works a lot better for slicing the circles, I'm finding, and slicing long ways. So why don't we just go ahead and abandon that. Just cut it this way. I got a good knife. Way easier. Way easier. So yeah, so as I mentioned, I would use a spirelli normally, but I'm not going to buy a $40 thing to do that. I thought they'd be pretty cheap. Plus, I'd have to go leave the house to go do that. Nobody got time for that. So we'll just make it basically like sweet potato fries. We still want to cut them down just so that they get cooked. Probably could just dice them up though too, because the sweet potato fries is just going to be a really weird thing to eat in a casserole, I suppose. So let's just dice it up. This is the first time I've done this recipe. If you didn't catch that, so we're gonna see how good or bad it is the way I'm doing it. I'm sure the original way will be a little bit better, where you actually have spiralized sweet potatoes, but sometimes you call some audibles here. Let's see. Yeah, we'll keep dicing that. This did slice it pretty thin though, pretty nice. I kind of like that. But it was just a little too herky-jerky for me, and I felt like my knuckles were in peril. Alright, so as I mentioned, I already sliced up 2 of them, and I did circles. Should be great for making sweet potato chips. After I saw all those made up into circles, I'm like, oh man, sweet potato chips actually sound pretty good. Alright. Alright, so just tons of sweet potatoes to dice up. Probably too many. Recipe called for I think 1 or 2, and about 4 massive ones, which is probably about the equivalent of 6 servings of sweet potatoes. Well, maybe I don't need to cut them all up, but I'm going to. we'll do something with them. Most likely just throw them all in there and eat them. You know, it's the right thing to do. Okay, so that is quite a bit cut up. It smells like fire over here, so let's attend to this. Alright, these are actually still in pretty good shape. They still need a little bit more time. Just sweating the vegetables, as the chefs say. Softening them up. This is so much sweet potato. I still have a lot more left to cut. But that's alright. We'll have a little bit of time to cut more of the sweet potatoes while the meat browns. Okay, let's get our most bang for our buck here. Just make a big stack, slice, make sure that it's at least stable though. Otherwise, yeah, that's not going to be stable. Efficient without losing fingers. That's the goal there. Just like that. Oh yeah. Alright. Okay, still a little bit more to cut. Let's do this. Let's be smart. Let's take what I need to cut out of here. We'll put what we did cut in here. And that way we have more space on our cutting board. What do you guys have planned for St. Patty's Day, if anything? I know I went out last night for a friend's birthday. That was fun. Went to a new bar, which I don't usually go out very often, but I had the last 2 weekends because of my birthday and then another friend's birthday. So generally just for special occasions and when it's a little earlier and not going to be super packed. It's kind of my thing. Kind of over the bar crowds and, you know, the $6 beers that you could get for, you know, $1 at the store. Feels expensive, man. Okay. Alright, good. We have space now, guys. We did it. We made space in our life. Alright, so let's just get through this bad boy. Just dice them up a little bit, and we need to probably check on our mirepoix. I apologize if I missed anything in chat, too. Feel free to say it again if I do. Okay. Alright, so let's check on our veggies. Oh yeah. Tastes pretty good. The onions especially. I think I'm gonna give it another minute while I get the meat out. I bought some ground lamb as well. I'm not gonna use it now, but I'll show it to you. It was on sale at Aldi. So free range ground lamb. Never really used lamb before. I've had it once. It's actually fattier than ground beef, at least, although this doesn't say the percentage. Ground beef I've used is 85-15, I believe. Actually, it doesn't even list it too, but I believe it's 85-15. So I'll have to figure something out to do with that. I know I've heard the suggestion from making meatballs, which I like that idea. Especially since I have lots of pasta noodles I need to use up. Okay, so let's finish dicing these up a little bit closer. And let's throw the meat in. Actually, let's throw the meat in now. I think it's time. We'll bring you over here as soon as we finish these sweet potatoes too. Gonna need this. Oh, it smells like freedom in here, guys. You really gotta smell this. All right, that's 1 pound of beef in the pool. Okay. Not gonna cut myself, not gonna cut myself, not gonna cut myself. Still didn't cut myself. Boom, 2nd pound in the pool. Boy, do I hate meat packaging. It's like the worst thing ever to go through. It's like Fort Knox in there. All right, so let's, I'm gonna break this up a little bit. Covered it up and turned it up on medium high. Okay, back. So turned it up on medium high just to cook it a little bit better. Sorry, I just hey, DJM Diesel, how you doing? Sorry if I missed that. I've been kind of hopping back and forth. Yeah, cubes of the sweet potato. Yeah, sorry I missed that, Rachel. I agree. I think that's I think that is the way to go. Just because, like, yeah, the sweet potato fries as a noodle doesn't really work. I don't know why I was even thinking that would be a good idea, but I mean, I'm totally fine with diced sweet potatoes. I think you're onto it. And this is kind of a tricky cooking stream because I'm actually dicing vegetables, which, you know, it's probably going to deter me from dicing vegetables again on stream because I'm dicing here and I don't want to keep moving you around, and I don't know that I have a really great shot to where I could cut everything. Maybe I could. Maybe I should just try a different angle next time, or maybe just stop cooking vegetables. Just eat meat. Also, a sound plan will not have any long-term ramifications on my health at all. So, seems good. So I know Rachel is also a streamer, in case you guys didn't know, in the chat. So it sounds like she's going to have some Jackbox games tonight at some point. So that'd be pretty fun. Hopefully after my stream, I'll make it over for that. Okay, let's cut the rest of the sweet potatoes, yes. Make a little room here. Yeah, this is probably way too much for sweet potatoes, but you know, it's fine. Too much of a good thing. Probably okay. Yeah, this sliced it pretty thin. I kind of wish, I'm really in the mood to make sweet potato fries. I make sweet potato fries a lot on the grill. So I find it easier to cook them on the grill than in the oven. So you can sear the crap out of them on the grill. It's pretty great. It dries them out a lot better than, well, I shouldn't say that. At least the way I make it, they turn out pretty decent when I grill them. So grill just a stick of sweet potato, and then it's a fry. It's magic. Okay. All right, we are almost done cutting vegetables, and then we will head over to the stove. Where we will stay over there for a bit until we eat. I just don't know what that experience is like to be moved around so freely as my phone. It seems like it would cause motion sickness. Yeah, this is way too many sweet potatoes. Way too many sweet potatoes, but we'll whatever we have left, we'll figure out what to do with them. I can always use it for my other recipe. My favorite recipe. So yeah, there won't even not even more will fit in there. All right, so let's take you over to see the action. Okay, and I'll actually open this up here so you can see the freedom going on in here. We got some 2 pounds of grass-fed ground beef. We got mirepoix, or otherwise those celery, carrots, and onions that were already sweated a little bit, softened up. So we're just going to break this up. And then I'll be stirring this around so it'll brown up. And I'm going to check the recipe just to make sure I have everything else. But I think we're going to do that. Then I think we season it up once this browns, and then put in a little bit of chicken broth. And looks like somehow, okay, looks like I almost ended the stream there, but we're good. Yeah, I like being able to stream on my phone, but Streamlabs is super sensitive, more sensitive than me even. And that's saying something. Okay. So it said increase heat to high, check, add ground beef, done, cook for 5 minutes, break up the meat, so beef is browned, working on it. Then add oregano, garlic powder, smoked paprika, chili powder, season with salt and pepper. So pretty much all of our seasonings that are required. I think I have smoked paprika in there somewhere. I just grabbed regular paprika, so we'll roll with it. How does the stream look? Does it still look okay? Because it's kind of like being wonky on my end. Or like chat is permanently up, which is actually kind of nice, instead of like fading away. So that way I don't have to like bring my messy fingers up to my phone every time. Alright, and I'll link the recipe again now there's a little bit more of you piling in. Oh, I'm making a mess. That's what I do. We'll just need to get a dog someday and clean that up. Okay, almost browned here, about 80% of the way. So what we'll do is we'll cook all this, and then there's gonna be some simmer time to soften up the sweet potatoes, and that's where I was like a little concerned. So I know it takes a long time for sweet potatoes to soften up, and we cooked a lot of them, so it might take a little bit longer than 10 minutes. We're gonna have to monitor the situation rather closely. Okay, looks like we're browned up pretty well, so we need to measure maybe. Okay, so we need. Since we're doubling everything, I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of oregano, or oregano if you're a monster. Hope you guys don't pronounce it as such. You may or may not be immediately banned from chat if you do say that. Probably not, though. Alright, so we need this is a half teaspoon. I may have done this wrong because this is actually lowercase t, so put probably way too much oregano in there, which is just fine. That's not really that big of a problem. So we'll use a half teaspoon of garlic powder to double up the recipe. Doesn't seem like very much though. That's a sad amount of garlic powder. But I mean, if I remember from cooking class, I mean the lowercase t is teaspoon and capital T is tablespoon. So, you know, we'll find out, I guess. Or we'll find out if we need to make our own measurements in the future, I suppose. So 2 teaspoons paprika. It says smoked paprika. I think I actually do have some smoked paprika, but I'm not going to dig it out. Dug this out first, and just easier that way. Believe it or not, smoked paprika has a smokier flavor. I know, right? Mind-boggling. Chili powder, one full one full teaspoon. So we'll just put 2 half teaspoons in here. So we already dirtied this measuring spoon up. Yeah, I mean, this seems maybe about right. Whatever you say, recipe. We're going to trust you on this. You know a lot better about cooking than me. Alright, so this says 1.5 cups of chicken stock or 3 cups for the double recipe. We'll get that ready to go. All right, so we got our seasonings in there, salt and pepper. Can't forget about the S&P. Salt and pepper to taste. That looks like a tasty amount of salt. And then a little bit of pepper. All right, let's can't go wrong with a little extra flavor, right? That's what I always say. Since now. Okay, so now we have that all seasoned up. So we're stirring the chicken stock and crushed tomatoes. I don't have crushed tomatoes, I'll just use diced tomatoes. Pretty much the same thing. A little different if you're a purist, but I think it'll work. I'll make it work. So I've managed to get a rig just about half of the recipe here. So if it's still good, we know it's a really good recipe because we've murdered it. So we'll just dump this in there. I'm not going to measure the cups either because this is 4 cups for the whole thing, so we'll just go 3 cups worth. Although I don't want to put too much in there just because, I mean, we're going to simmer a lot of it out. Yeah, a little bit more. There we go. Yeah, a little bit more. There we go. That feels like, probably feels more like 2/3, but. Hey, Travis, how you doing? Hey, DJM Diesel, thank you so much for the follow. Oh, shoot, I'm sorry that it's stopping. You know, obviously I hope sounds like your internet's bad. So hopefully at least it's showing on my end, but yeah, it's hopefully that gets resolved. I actually couldn't stream right away because my internet was saying they don't have an internet connection on my phone. I'm like, well, that's definitely not true because I've been watching the internet on my phone all day. Welcome, Travis. I've never had a sweet potato casserole like this. This is a brand new recipe, so I'm totally MacGyvering many of the things in here. We're gonna make a double batch and see how it goes. So we're gonna learn together, guys. I'll let you know if it's good, Travis. I'll relink the recipe here. Let me stir this up. So let's. So what we're gonna do is eventually simmer it, but we need to. In my experience, you usually need to boil first and then you simmer. Okay, so it doesn't look too bad right now. Actually, looks like a good ratio. Okay, so let's boil it up. Hey Kiko, how you doing, dear? Thanks for stopping by to say hi. All Twitch has been on for me since Friday. That's yeah, I mean Twitch is definitely a little wonky at times. Talk about small indie companies. They're even smaller than Blizzard. Actually, when I was interviewing for this HR job, or for not the HR job, when I was interviewing with the HR guy for the Blizzard job, he had worked with Twitch. And I was asked him about his experience with Twitch, and it's like, yeah, it's just so cool being part of a small company that's like, I mean, it's gone like hundreds, like multiplied by hundreds in size, I think, pretty much, as far as employees. So it's pretty funny. But along with that, of course, you're going to have situations where they don't have established processes and maybe don't fix problems really quickly. But, you know, I don't think Twitch is too bad as far as their issues. I mean, you definitely usually get issues with chat and video and such, but a lot of times it's fixed by refreshing the browser, which is nice. All right, so we have this on le boil. So it says to go to medium low to simmer. Then add the sweet. I don't think that makes sense to. Well, let's lower it and then let's add the sweet potatoes. So we've already lowered it. I want to make sure these sweet potatoes actually soften up in time. So we made way too many sweet potatoes for this pan. But we'll see how much we can fit in here that will reasonably cook. Probably not even close to what we cooked, but that's okay. We can use the sweet potatoes for any other recipe. Do you guys like sweet potatoes? Because I certainly do. As you can tell. As you can tell. Alright, so let's, I'm going to cover this up because I think that'll improve our chances at softening the sweet potatoes just to keep all that wonderful action in there. Well, actually, you turn it up to medium instead of medium low. I don't want to mess around with going too weak on the heat here. All right, so let's look at the ingredients, or the instructions rather. I'm going to set the kitchen timer to 10 minutes. Yeah, I do that all the time in food prep, yeah. Cut up too many ingredients? Look at this, all this. I feel like I should make some sweet potato fries out of this, or sweet potato chips. I probably could do that. But I don't know how long that would take. I haven't really pulled up a recipe for it, but I've made sweet potato fries quite a bit. But I mean, look at this. I mean, this is like a whole... This is the smaller container I have too, but I suppose I could use this for my sweet potato meats recipe, which I cooked in episode 2, which you can find on the YouTubes. Let me also link the recipe. I keep saying I'm going to link the recipe, and then I don't, so I'm a liar, obviously. Boom. Now you're informed, my friends. Okay, so we got this at medium-high heat. It says it's going to take about 10 minutes to soften this up. We'll see about that. I think it's going to take a little longer. But we're also supposed to have it spiralized too. So you know what? Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stir this up in there as well. That'll also improve the chances. This looks actually pretty decent though. I don't know that it's really necessarily... It's kind of a casserole, I guess, but... I know when I think of casseroles, I think of like cream of mushroom soup stuff and the such, which you won't find a lot of that with paleo diets because you usually try to use natural ingredients, and cream of mushroom, cream of celery soups are loaded with like not so natural things. I don't know. I mean, some sort of cream in there, which is not going to be natural. Cream or butter. All right, so now we got this in there. Let's hope and pray to the RNG sweet potato gods that this does soften up. I think it will. It just might take a little longer than what the recipe calls for. Since we don't have any spiral noodles, I'm going to turn up the heat to medium too. I don't really care about the texture. I'm more of just like, want things to taste decent enough. More so than it looking good or, yeah, pretty much just looking good. If it tastes good, it looks good to me. That's my motto. Okay, let me grab my LaCroix as we wait for about another 7.5 minutes while this goes. Let's see. Throw this stuff in the sink. Man, yeah, we way overshot the sweet potatoes because I still have some on the cutting board as well. No, yeah, I almost do kind of feel like we should make something else with this. Yeah, let's screw it. Let's make something else with it. Impromptu sweet potatoes. Ooh. Yeah, so we'll just make the topping that I normally make. Maybe we'll use the lamb with that. I don't know. It's a good idea. Yeah, we're totally going off the rails here now. So we're making this casserole, but what I normally do is like with the sweet potatoes, I'd saute those up in coconut oil. And then I'd put that with hot sauce, or with Frank's Red Hot Sauce, or imitation Red Hot Sauce. The garlic and onion powder, soften that up, and then put that on, or cook some turkey with it. I don't have any turkey thawed out, but I do have this lamb. I kind of want to try that out. So maybe we'll try it. We'll see if lamb and sweet potatoes are a thing. Let's find out. That's right. We have gone off the rails, guys. Off the rails. But this is really amazing, though. Sweet potatoes, onion powder, garlic powder, and coconut oil. Again, check out that week 2 recipe on YouTube. It's phenomenal. I don't know why I put an empty one of those in there. That was irresponsible. Yeah, so let's do that. So we'll experiment with lamb, I guess. Why not? All right, this is, okay, that's probably boil more than simmer. I'll turn down a little bit. Okay. So So let's get our coconut oil. We need something to do anyways while this is cooking. Hey, Kaiki, my boy, how you doing, man? Hey, he's got the gibbers and the lurk. I appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying all those emotes. Regis has some really good emotes, and you know, I was looking, I'm like, I feel generous. I'm gonna get a sub for somebody. I'm like, hey, there's Kaiki, my boy. He's popped in chat before, so you are the lucky winner of my sub feelings giveaway, I guess. Hey, Alapega, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. We're cooking a casserole, and then we've decided, well, we cook way too much for sweet potatoes, so we might as well start making up other recipes. So you're in just in time to watch me just completely go off the rails. So we're going to find out if lamb and sweet potatoes are a thing. I bet they are. We'll find out though. So coconut oil, we have that. That is probably a table. There's not much left in this jar. I think we'll just use the rest of it. Seems like the American thing to do. What do you guys think? Today may be St. Patty's Day, but it's always a day to celebrate America. Or whatever country you live in. It's all good. As long as you don't live in the evil countries, you're all good. Alright, so let's get that out of there. Got the rest of that out there. So what we're doing, we're just heating this up to, we'll go to a little bit above medium high heat. We just have coconut oil in the pan, melt it up. We're going to steam whatever sweet potatoes we can kind of fit in here. Once it's, I mean, it's melted, but I don't know that it's, let's see what happens. Nope, yeah, it wasn't quite super heated, but that's fine. So let's go I'm gonna grab a small lid to steam that. Okay, we still have more sweet potatoes left here. Yeah, I am cooking. It's going all right. Trying a new recipe and then just making up a recipe. Alpega, as far as who I'm cooking for, I'm just cooking for myself, actually. I enjoy cooking large meals. I eat them throughout the week, so I prefer to do a lot of my food prepping on the weekend. So I'm trying this new sweet potato casserole recipe. I'll relink that in chat here shortly. And I'm just going to eat it. I'm going to split this up in probably 5 servings. I'm going to try. So it's 2 pounds of ground beef. Probably only got like 2 sweet potatoes in there. Some diced tomatoes, some seasoning, celery, onions, and carrots in here. So that's the sweet potato casserole, which sweet potato cheeseburger casserole, and it has no cheese in it. Not sure why they named it such. But they're the pros, not me. But as far as my day, I'm going pretty well. I was working with my CrossFit team earlier. I'm the captain of a CrossFit team, so we had a good time kind of cheering them on, coaching them up a little bit. I shouldn't really say coaching them up, but helping them out with their workouts and cheering people on today. We're all doing the CrossFit Open, which is a kind of an online qualifier competition that most people do that do CrossFit, or a lot of people do, I should say. So just doing that, and then I've just been kind of hanging around the house, stretching out, because I did my workout yesterday, and it's pretty sore from it. So we're just coating the outside edge of the sweet potatoes as much as we can, just stirring them around with the coconut oil. We're going to soften up these sweet potatoes. Oh my goodness, I have so much for sweet potatoes here. Okay, so our casserole is looking pretty decent. Let me see if we should uncover this now. I think we probably could. So it actually has about 20 more seconds. I think we'll uncover this because you're supposed to cook the liquids out. I'm a French foodie, love cooking. That's awesome. Yeah. What's your favorite meal to cook? I'm pretty simple dude. I am a simple dude. I'll even use correct words in my sentences. Yeah, this is getting pretty soft. Yeah, I'll talk. So I think we can actually take this off the heat, let it cool off, and such. But yeah, I think we want to let the. There we go. We made it. Over here. Take a look at. I'll show you guys a look at it really quick here. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's still. I mean, because we had it covered, the water didn't run out, or the broth and all the juices. But we're gonna let it cool off, and that should make it go away. So what this was supposed to be, instead of diced and sliced sweet potatoes, was spiralized sweet potatoes, and use it, make it, make it like a pasta noodle. But I don't have a spirelli, and I didn't really want to buy one. Too bad. Or leave the house and buy one, let alone pay for one. So I'm like, we'll just dice it up. Turns out I made way too much for sweet potatoes too, so now we're doing an impromptu second recipe that I'm making up in my head. We're just browning and softening these sweet potatoes. It's probably overloaded the pan with sweet potatoes here too. So while this is cooling, we'll focus on this. I have some free-range ground lamb. For those of you just popping in here, I'm gonna try this out, because why not? I found it on sale, so I thought, well, we'll try some ground lamb. And I don't have any. Normally, I would make what I'm doing in the small pan is I would do coconut oil, sweet potatoes, onion and garlic pepper, or onion and garlic powder, which I will do in some Frank's Red Hot sauce. It makes an amazing topping. Normally, I put ground turkey in here with it. And then I'd put that on top of a layer of ground beef into like what's called a pizza, or basically a meatloaf. But I'm going to make just the topping of that, just because I have so much for sweet potatoes. And we'll throw some lamb in there, see what happens, I guess. I know it's the most disorganized, I would say disorganized, just kind of an impromptu cooking stream ever, but it's alright. Fits me very well. I like to wing it. Okay, it's starting to finally soften up a little bit. I guess I should have cut these up a little bit smaller. I think that was probably my problem here. These are still kind of too long. Alright, so let me grab my Frank's Red Hot sauce. Yes, that's all I really need right now. Man, it's a gloomy little Saturday here, so I'm going to have to crack open a drink. I don't know if that really makes any sense, but we're going to make it make sense. Kind of soft. Soft enough. I mean, this does look pretty decent. It's really just more like sweet potato hamburger soup, which I actually make sometimes out of the crock pot. So I think, depending on how this tastes, I don't imagine it's going to taste all that much better than my crock pot version of this. I'll just make the crock pot version. But in its defense, I didn't spiralize the sweet potatoes, which would have made it a little bit different. Okay, still letting that cool. Fajitas, oh my god, fajitas are so good. I make a lot of stir fries, I guess you'd really kind of call it. Just with chicken, and I usually use frozen bird's eye peppers just because it's so much easier than cutting up veggies. But I really enjoy making that just to kind of stay in the paleo plan. Although then I throw brown rice with it, which technically makes it not so paleo, but it's a pretty healthy alternative to just make sure I get some healthy-ish carbs. Fajitas are really good. I haven't had a good set of fajitas in a while. Okay, this is starting to brown up. I want to show you one of these. I don't know if you can really see this. Let's see if it'll. Here's the camera. Oh, I can't see it without Gravity taking. Oh god, it's burning. Okay, well I'll show you another time. It's pretty awesome, just the way this browns up with the coconut oil. Super sexy. Alright, I'm gonna chop this up a little bit with the spoon, as much as I can. I should have diced it up more. That helped it cook through a lot easier. You know, you make one new recipe and then you start making impromptu recipes. It's have a chance to go haywire, but it's alright good. It's all gonna get eaten someday. Alright. So some of it is cooking. Alright, keep that roll in there. Still got some sweet potatoes left, so I'm not sure what I'll do with this. I might have to save this for that. Yeah, I should save the rest of this, store that for the normal recipe. So I'm just grabbing a container and I'm gonna put those away while we wait, while we play the waiting game here. Not making noise at all. Alright. This is so much sweet potatoes. Why did I think that was a good idea to cut up 4 massive sweet potatoes? There we go. So we have a pretty good sized container full of sweet potatoes left over, which is fine. We'll save that for later in the week and cook something with that. So there we go. We got a lot of cutting done, which is pretty good for me because I hate cutting veggies, as I mentioned, at least 3 or 4 times per stream. Okay, so off this side. Yeah, fajitas sound really good, actually. I don't make fajitas very often. I make more stir fries just because that's easier. You just throw everything in a pan and cook it up, and then you put rice under it. But I don't know, to do fajitas right is pretty good. You can get cook the veggies just right. Okay, I think this is finally soft-ish. Ouch. Burned myself a little bit. Okay. It's probably good enough. Let's go ahead and we'll add the lamb. So this will cook also, and just it'll give some more time for the sweet potatoes to cook. My trusty cutting knife, we'll use this. So this is free range lamb, ground lamb. It's pretty fatty actually. Okay, get in the pool. All right. All right, so we'll dice it up with our spoon, so we'll brown that up. And then we'll season it with onion powder, garlic powder, Frank's Red Hot sauce, and I bet it'll taste good. We'll find out. Oh boy. Let's see if we can get some more lamb on the surface area of the pan here. There you go. You can see the, that's a little darker than what I like. I like it just a little bit brown, and it tastes amazing. Cooked sweet potatoes with coconut oil is so good. And if you like sweet potato fries, it's basically like eating a sweet potato fry. Okay, so we're dicing this up, we're browning it up. The fat grams on here was pretty high for the lamb, so I'm actually kind of surprised it's not a lot of oil coming off of it, so it must be pretty lean. It's just kind of weird why it has so much fat content, but it doesn't really look like there's much fat coming off of it compared to like ground beef. And this actually said it had more fat than ground beef. So I don't know. I don't know the science on that apparently. But it looks like it's got at least enough fat to keep the pan lubricated. Okay. Throw those back in there. We'll cover this up for a few seconds. So let it steam up, brown up. Check on our regularly scheduled dish. Let's try it out here. Not bad. So let's get a bite of everything in here. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. I think you could use a lot more salt. A lot more salt that we'll have. That's okay. I don't think I'm in any danger of having too much salt in my life. Okay, so we got the salt in there. We'll stir that back up. We'll continue to let it cool for a little bit. We're going to split this up into fifths. I really feel like it needs rice with it, honestly. It's still a little liquidy. It just kind of feels like soup, which is okay in a day like today, I suppose. Okay. It's alright. I may have botched it a little bit. Too many. Hey, good day, Taz Dingo. How you doing, mate? May have botched it up a little bit. Trying out the lamb. I'm trying out the lamb in a different sense than what you suggested. I know you suggested making meatballs with it, but we found this opportunity. That's a positive way to say. Found a mistake. We found this opportunity to take my way too much overcut amount of sweet potatoes and make another dish that I'm making up in my head, sort of. A variation of my meatloaf topping from another recipe. Okay, well, it's starting to brown up. Brown it up pretty well, so I think we'll go ahead and we'll season it with Frank's and onion and garlic powder. Sure to be good. I guess we could try a little bit of lamb. It's a little pink still. Most places, some of the places. And get off there. This pan has a little too much action going in it too. I never claimed to be a great cook, just a cook. I definitely don't follow sound cooking practices, I know, but I do what's kind of convenient for me more so than... Not bad. Tastes kind of like a lighter flavor of ground beef, honestly. Okay, so let's do a little salt and pepper. I think I'm out of pepper in here. Not much coming out. Okay. That's about more pepper. Must not have. And salting it up. Now the freedom here. So I think normally we do This is the one that hardly has anything in it. All right. Just throw that in there. That was a waste of energy there. Okay, so bought some new onion powder though. Normally we do 2 teaspoons per ground of meat. In the normal case, it would be ground beef in my other recipe. So that'd be 2/3 of a tablespoon. There are 3 teaspoons in 1 tablespoon. Take that home with you. Now you can say you learned something today. So now we'll throw the garlic powder in there. Okay. Let's see what happens. This could be a huge double fail, but I mean, really a double fail for me means, you know, I'm still gonna eat it. It's still meat and sweet potatoes and Frank's Red Hot sauce and delicious seasonings. It's not gonna be terrible. It's just probably not gonna be amazing. Okay, I'm gonna stir this all up a little bit. Oh, it smells so good. Right, so we're just covering everything up. Now the Frank's is still, you know, this is an imitation Frank's Red Hot sauce too, so it's even a little bit slightly runnier than the original, so less less thick, but not by a lot. Probably just has a little bit extra vinegar. Smells pretty good though. There we go. Yeah, this is gonna be alright, I think. We're just chopping it up, stirring it around, mixing the flavors, get some coagulation going here. Probably turn heat off. Give that a second to sit. Okay. It's not bad. It's not bad looking here, guys. Let's take a bite and I'll show it to you guys. Pretty good. Sweet potatoes, I probably should have let. Some of them are still like a little bit middle of the road hard, but not too bad. Yeah, it turned out okay. I mean, it turned out basically what I thought it would be like, just like the other recipe. So let me show you guys what we're working with here. So we got the made up recipe, which is a pound of ground lamb with some leftover sweet potatoes from our regular recipe, Frank's Red Hot sauce, onion powder, garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of each, and then a dusting of pepper and a large dusting of salt. Then we have our regularly scheduled recipe, which I'll link in chat, which is the sweet potato cheeseburger casserole, which has no cheeseburger nor casserole in it, but it's still meat and sweet potatoes and some other stuff, so pretty sweet. So this is a double batch of the recipe, 2 pounds of ground beef, probably about 2 to 3 servings of sweet potatoes, an onion, celery, carrots, diced tomatoes, chicken broth, and some seasoning. So it's not bad, you know. It's okay. I think what we'll do, I think it's time to eat. What do you guys think? I think so. I do need to take a picture of this for Athena. She is a fantastic Hearthstone streamer from France, and she personally requested I take a picture of this for her. However, I don't want to interrupt the stream, so I might have to do that. I have to do that afterwards. So remind me, guys, when I end the stream, take a picture of this, and then we'll actually do a little Hearthstone too here pretty shortly. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. Whoa. Actually pretty salty. Probably did throw a little too much salt in there, but yeah, that's all right. Too much goodness. Never a bad thing. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to dish up some of this action. Feels like it'd be pretty good with some saltine crackers a little bit. Actually, probably be better. Maybe not with necessarily saltines, but that's what I have. So that's what I might use, but I don't know, what would it be good with, I guess? Maybe a bread if you eat bread, which I don't eat bread. I really am not supposed to eat saltines, but they're so good. So we're going to do a fifth. So I measured out, or I planned out doing, had this in fives. So that's not a really big amount, I don't think, but that's okay. It's probably closer to a fourth, but it's fine. And then we'll have some of this other stuff here pretty soon too. The table. I made a mess. Someday I'll clean that up. Actually make, I'll have a little bit of this too as a side. A side of sweet potato and more meat to go along with my sweet potato and meat. Just a different variation here, but it's fine. Well, I could use a little extra protein today. Okay, I will take you guys to the table. I promise. Okay. Come with me, my friends. Oh, God. Oh, did that thing again where I accidentally touched the screen and then all the things break. Okay, there we go. We're back. Yeah, the lamb is pretty decent, I'll say. I mean, it kind of tastes like a lighter ground beef than what I'm used to, but it's not bad. All right. Okay, so now we eat. I'm gonna try it without any crackers or anything like that. I grew up on soup and crackers though, and I know it'd be kind of sacrilege to probably throw crackers right on there right away, but we might do it. That extra bit of salt works. I shouldn't say bit. That was a heavy dusting afterwards, but it's all right. I actually have a tendency to not, I feel like not salt some of my stuff enough. And then, I don't know, I think when I eat the same thing over throughout the week and it's not very salty, it actually makes me crave more. And, plus with working out a couple days a week and drinking way too much water and just peeing out every fluid in your body, then I think I kind of feel like I need a little bit more salt sometimes. It's not bad. Let me relink the recipe too. I forgot to do that. So there you go. There's the recipe again. That's the originally scheduled recipe. It's not bad. I mean, right now it's kind of a soup. If I were to probably, do everything perfectly, it'd be a little thicker, I think. Less of a soup. But it'll thicken up a little bit more too as I cool it off. So once I put it in containers and cools off in the fridge throughout the week and I take it to work, it'll probably be a little bit thicker. Oh, that's a salty bite. Good though. I have no ice cream cake, unfortunately, to eat with this. Thank you, DJM Diesel. Yeah, it's not bad. It actually looks like a decent, normal dish. I'm pretty proud of that. Yeah, I mean, it's a fine soup. I don't think it was supposed to be necessarily a soup though. It's supposed to be a casserole. But fairly simple. Honestly, I've actually done a I'm trying to remember my crock pot recipe, but I think it's just you just cut the sweet potatoes in bigger chunks and throw it in there, diced tomatoes and ground beef. Throw it in there for 8 hours on low, and you basically make a huge soup. And I think you use chicken broth too, so it's almost exactly the same ingredients, probably a little bit different on the spices, and it's really, really good. So and then you throw the tomatoes in there too, and the tomatoes are kind of interesting with ground beef because then it kind of gives you that ketchup, kind of like the think of a ketchup on a hamburger type flavor. Yeah, that is some delicious saltiness. But no sweet, no ice cream cake this time to eat afterwards. I guess my dessert's more meat and sweet potatoes, I guess. It's pretty good. I'm gonna try this out again here. Yeah, I can definitely taste the difference with the lamb versus ground beef. It definitely has a lot more flavor than ground beef. Actually, combined with all this. It's hard to describe the flavor, but it's like a, I don't know, I want to say almost like a, it's kind of lighter, but kind of more flavorful. You know, it's almost like a little bit, I want to say like grassier flavor, but I know that doesn't sound very super appetizing. Ooh. Yeah, I must, it's a pretty good amount of salt. I don't think I'll be needing any salt later. But surprisingly for me, like I said, I don't oversalt things. I usually probably undersalt. I could use a little bit more salt, I should say, in my recipes. I mean, you know our body. I mean, I know they say salt gets a pretty bad rap, or sodium. It's going to lead to high blood pressure, and you know that's obviously probably true. I'm not a doctor or scientist, but I mean there is some level of salt you do need to have in your body. I mean, you are made up of water and salt, and you know when you go to the bathroom and stuff like that, you're getting rid of some salt too. And at least the American diet probably has. If you eat a lot of you know, packaged foods or whatever, or boxed foods or fast food, then you probably get a lot of extra salt. But I rarely eat boxed foods or fast food, so I think just adding salt myself, I don't know that I would be able to over salt something. Well, I probably could. I will have to figure it out, or not. It doesn't matter. So I know for the Aussies, it's probably it's probably super early Sunday morning. I'm trying to remember. My time zone math here. So it's probably no longer St. Patty's Day for you guys. I don't know if you guys celebrate that there. I'm assuming you do, because I mean, why wouldn't Aussies want to celebrate, right? Yeah, I mean, I think this recipe is not bad. It does look good, and it tastes fine. I think it'll taste better too once it thickens up. But I am a man that loves soup too. And you know, again, if I would have had a spirelli and had made noodles, probably the sweet potatoes maybe would have soaked up a little juice potentially, a little bit more. I think I'll probably cook tomorrow. I don't know if I'll cook on stream though tomorrow. I need to come up with a chicken recipe for the week. And I'm pretty sick of cooking the same chicken stir fry. I usually do a chicken stir fry and then alternate with my crock pot chicken and salsa recipe. Need to find something else. If you guys have some chicken recipes, feel free to shoot them in chat. I'm going to need a lot of water after this. But I think all in all, I didn't do too bad with this recipe, considering I made a lot of substitutions with how I made the sweet potatoes and, you know, doubling the recipe. I guess that's about it. That's about all I changed with it, I think. And it's not too, it's about the right amount of juice. I mean, for a soup, it's about the right amount of juice for, you know, the filling or whatever you want to call it, the ingredients in there. I just think it was probably supposed to be a little bit thicker. So I think for Hearthstone, which I'll be starting up pretty soon, I don't want to wait too long after this stream, keep you guys hanging, but I do probably want to at least close everything up or throw it in containers really quick. I guess I can do that on stream. I usually do that. Yeah, so we'll do that. But I think I have the Murloc quest for like 75 Murlocs. I played like half of those already. I have a 80 gold quest for friends. So if you hang on, you might get 80 gold because I'm going to give it to one of you guys that are in chat. As long as I remember, it'll be the first thing we do once we start at the Hearthstone side. So be ready for that. Yeah, I don't think this tasted too bad. The extra amount of salt is probably a little much, but it's kind of weird with chicken broth using with beef. Normally you'd use a beef broth, I would think, but it called for chicken broth and beef. It's actually kind of a good combination, though. You get the chicken's a little bit lighter, saltier flavor with the normal beef, which is a little bit, I don't know what you call it, beefier flavor, obviously, but salt me. Wow, yeah. I don't know where I was going with that. So now we're eating our, that was spicy too, and garlicky. So we got basically sweet potatoes, lamb, Frank's Red Hot sauce, garlic, and onion powder. That's right. This is probably the first stream where you've watched somebody eat a meat dish with a side of meat. You're welcome, guys. I may or may not like meat. Yeah, the lamb flavor is definitely different, definitely interesting. It's not bad. Takes a little getting used to, especially with, you know, my two meats I eat are ground beef and chicken. And it's kind of a, I don't know. Yeah, it feels like somehow in the middle, but somehow a little bit more flavorful than both of them. But we have another pound left, so maybe we will do some meatballs with it per Charles' suggestion. Man. It's warm in here with the hoodie and this. Hey, Callum. Oi, oi. How you doing, friend? Hope you're having a wonderful Saturday. Are you celebrating St. Paddy's Day in the UK? So cold. So cold, so gold, and so cold. Yeah, it's been, it's actually kind of chilly here, too. Oh, no. Feels cold, man. Yeah, it's not a fun feeling. Are you outside right now, then? Are you, Oh, no, the boiler broke. Feels cold, man. That's awful. Do you have a microwave? Maybe you can cook some water in the microwave and put it on your hands or something for some relief. Or just boil water, I guess. Boil water to give you some warm humidity in the air a little bit. But yeah, I bet a coffee will help. Warm the old insides. Pretty good. All right. Well, that was an interesting combination of things. So we tried the recipe. It's not bad. You guys try it for yourself. Hey, Ron, how you doing? Ron suggests hitting up a hotel. Yeah, I would. I mean, depending on how long that's broken, I would probably be in a hotel for sure. Let's go ahead. I think what I will do is I'm going to bring this stuff over here. We'll compartmentalize it in our containers, and then we'll end the stream, and then we'll jump over to Hearthstone. Whew, so salty and spicy. All right, so I will bring it over. Oh. How you doing today, Ron? Let me adjust this. How was your St. Patty's Day Saturday going, Ron? Let's see. Let's grab some containers. I swear I grabbed just more than one right there. But I didn't. Okay. Oh, still sick. Playing the PvE Fortnite, I presume. Yeah, that's a bummer. I know. I think I'm finally over my cold that I had for basically the last 2 weeks. It's not fun. Really, wasn't really that bad of a cold. It just was super annoying. Like I couldn't get rid of it. It was just a little congested and a little extra tired every day. So it really wasn't terrible symptoms. You said day not going. I am just finishing up the cooking stream and then going to start up some Hearthstone on the stream here shortly. So it'll disconnect us briefly, but if you guys hang out in the chat and want to hang out in Hearthstone, that'll be good. But totally understand if you guys have other things you want to do. Ooh, pickups. I'm just separating these out. Decided on 5 servings for all this. I calculated the calories for all this. Woo. That is salty. I may have been there. Salt levels are high. Maybe too high. Oh, nice. You're going to the Caribbean? You're going in 10 days on a cruise? Or are you flying there? People want to know, Callum. Inquiring minds want to know. All right, we're trying to get this. We're eyeballing this even. I think probably for once. 2 weeks for a cruise, nice. Yeah, I've never done a cruise, but I've been kind of interested in it. But you know, I'm also okay with being on land. I like having more choices. I don't think I'd want to be somewhere where it's like, well, all you have to do is gamble, drink booze, and eat. And I love. I mean, I certainly love to do that, but. Run says, love cousin. Do you mean love cruises? And yeah, they're cruising. There you go. So I figure, I mean, it's okay if you love your cousins too. I mean, that's all right. I love my cousins. Cousins are pretty sweet. They're, oh my God. Just giving you a hard time. I shouldn't give anybody a hard time for mistyping, because I do it all the time, especially on mobile. All right, so we dish this all up. So I'm gonna throw this in the sink. Okay, so that's going. We'll just let that soak for, at least a day. Or probably till tomorrow when I decide to clean the kitchen. I gotta stream with you guys. I mean, I don't want to turn this into cooking and cleaning stream. That would be lame. Okay, just grabbing a couple containers for lids. Alright, we're gonna put this lamb in some containers too. Probably do fourths. It's alright. I don't love the smell of the lamb, I'll be honest. It's kind of weird. I shouldn't say it's weird, it's different. It doesn't taste too bad though. It just tastes just a little different. Like I'm expecting ground beef, because it looks just like ground beef, and then it's like, it's a little different than ground beef. So it probably just takes a little time to get used to. That's all. You do crap ton? Sort of, yeah. I don't know, I eat roughly 2,000 calories a day, which is supposedly kind of close to the suggested average. So calorie-wise, I actually eat probably what's about normal number of calories. It might look like a lot though, but my macro is a little bit bigger, so I actually probably eat a little bit more. I definitely eat a lot more meat than most people. I'm trying to get a little more protein. I think people that don't necessarily watch their macronutrients, protein, carbs, and fat probably do eat less quantity, but they probably eat, higher density of fat, which has quite a bit of calories in it. Let's see. Trying to even this up a little bit here. There we go. But I really just eat 2 meals like this a day, and maybe some snacks in between. Okay. We did it. We made a mess, but we always do. I eat that much chocolate a day. Oh, chocolate's so good. You just threw in my head that I need to eat chocolate, Ren. See what you did? It's alright. Let's close these up, run a little bit more water. I just want to make sure I'm in a little bit of a decent place. Oh shoot, I need to take a picture of this. Excuse me for spitting all over the place. I'm so excited. I need to take a picture for Athena. I told her I'd take a picture, and I totally forgot. So let's see, we'll just take a picture with it in the container, because I'm not going to take it out of the container. Alright, so let's see, let's get 2 more lids. Alright, so I think I am going to start up the Hearthstone stream here shortly. I just want to put a few things away, and then we'll actually have the 80 gold quest, so I'm going to give that to some lucky winner. We'll do a quick little giveaway for anybody that's in chat. It'll be probably the first game we play. And then we'll play a little Murloc Pally and maybe work our way towards Legend. We're at rank 4. Try to complete the Murlocalypse quest that I have. To be good, because it's a long quest. 75 Murlocs is what you got to play. I'm halfway through it. We'll get through it tonight, but I haven't really felt like playing a lot of Hearthstone this week. But it'll be fine. So, I don't know. Or maybe we'll meme it up too. But let's see here. But let me go ahead. I'll end this stream. We'll get you started. If you want to hang out in the chat room, watch some Hearthstone, that'd be great. If not, I really appreciate you hanging out for the cooking stream. We'll probably do another cooking stream, I'm sure, next weekend as well. But I'll end the stream. Hang tight, and we'll start up Hearthstone here in a few minutes. So, peace and love, guys.